a Tamil tradition with a scientific truth. In a small village near Thanjavur, there lived a girl named Meera. Meera wasn't a bad girl. She was smart, modern, and confident. But there was one thing she always argued about. Why should girls wear anklets? Why should we wear kolusu? It's old-fashioned. Her mother smiled and said softly, Meera, our elders didn't say these things without a reason. Meera rolled her eyes. Amma, please, it's just a superstition. The day Meera refused. One morning, Meera was getting ready to go to college. Her mother brought out a pair of silver anklets. Wear this today, she said. Meera sighed. No Amma, I'm not wearing it. It makes noise. Everyone will stare. Her mother didn't force her. She only said one sentence. One day, you will understand why our ancestors made this a rule. Meera left the house. The unexpected visit. That evening, Meera came home and found her Pati, grandmother, sitting in the veranda. Pati was old, her hair fully white, her eyes gentle but sharp. Meera sat beside her and said casually, Pati, Amma is still stuck with that kolusu topic. Pati smiled. Oh, kolusu ah? Good, let's talk. Meera laughed. Pati, please don't tell me it's for luck or to stop bad spirits. Pati's smile widened. No Meera, I won't tell you stories. I'll tell you the truth. The story Pati told. Pati pointed at the small street outside their house. In olden days, Meera, houses were not like now. No cement roads, no street lights, no CCTV, no phones. People lived in dark streets, with mud roads. And women, they carried water, cooked, worked, raised children. They were tired. But still, our ancestors cared about women's safety and health. Meera listened silently. Pati continued. Kolusu wasn't just jewelry. It was a signal. Run away. Adults would complain. But elders always insisted on one thing. Apply oil, then take bath. For many people today, it feels like an outdated habit. Sticky oil on hair. Waiting before bath. Messy towels. So the habit slowly disappeared. But what if that simple routine had a powerful scientific reason? What if our ancestors understood something about the human body that we are slowly forgetting? This is the story of a boy who hated oil baths, until he discovered the truth behind it. The boy who hated oil. Kartik was a school student. Every Sunday morning his grandmother would bring a small steel bowl. Inside it was warm coconut oil. The smell filled the room. Kartik, come here, she called. But Kartik ran away. Pati please, I don't like oil bath. He hated the sticky feeling. His friends never did it. Why should he? But his grandmother always said one thing. One day you will understand. The stressful city life. Years passed. Kartik moved to the city for work. Life became busy. Long working hours. Computer screens all day. Traffic. Deadlines. Slowly he began feeling something strange. Constant headaches. Poor sleep. Hair fall. Stress. He tried everything. Expensive shampoos. Hair serums. Supplements. Nothing helped much. One day while visiting home, his grandmother looked at him carefully. You stopped oil bath, right? Kartik laughed. Pati, that's old style. She didn't argue. She only said quietly, our body hasn't changed, only our habits have. The science of oil massage. Later that night, Kartik searched online. What he discovered shocked him. Oil massage actually has several scientifically proven benefits. When oil is applied to the scalp and gently massaged, blood circulation increases. Hair follicles receive better nutrients. Stress hormones reduce. The nervous system relaxes. The scalp contains many nerve endings connected to the brain. Massage stimulates these nerves. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for relaxation. In simple words, oil massage tells the body, it's time to calm down. The deep penetration. Unlike many oils, coconut oil contains lauric acid, a fatty acid that can penetrate deep into the hair structure. This helps strengthen hair, Reduce breakage. Moisturize dry hair. It also helps prevent frizz and dryness. Suddenly Arun remembered his grandmother's words. The cooling effect. In hot climates, body heat builds up easily. Traditional oils like coconut oil help reduce excess heat from the scalp. This cooling effect helps reduce headaches, improve sleep quality, prevent scalp dryness. Ancient people may not have used words like thermoregulation, but they understood the effect through observation. Hair health protection. Hair roots are delicate. Pollution, heat, and chemicals damage them easily. Oil acts as a protective barrier. It prevents excessive moisture loss. It also reduces protein loss from hair strands. That's why many dermatologists today recommend pre-wash oiling. What elders practiced weekly, modern science now confirms. One evening Kartik sat beside his grandmother. She slowly applied oil on his head like when he was a child. Her hands moved gently, the same smell of coconut oil, the same calm feeling. Suddenly he remembered something. Those Sundays were not just about hair care. They were moments of care. Moments of slowing down. Moments of connection. Something modern life had taken away. Kartik realized something powerful. Oil bath was not just about hair. It was about health, relaxation, and balance. It forced people to pause once a week. To take care of the body. To release stress. To reconnect with family. Our ancestors created habits that protected both body and mind. Sometimes the habits we call old-fashioned are actually the wisdom we haven't fully understood yet. Many traditional habits were built through centuries of observation. Before rejecting them, sometimes we should try to understand them. Why people light lamps in the evening, the hidden science behind this habit. Hello friends, welcome to Vinny channel. Have you ever wondered why many people light a lamp every evening in their homes? Is it just a religious ritual, or is there a deeper meaning and hidden science behind this simple habit? For thousands of years, in many homes, as the sun sets, a small lamp is lit near the entrance, in the prayer room, or in front of a deity. Elders always say that lighting a lamp in the evening brings peace, positivity, and removes negative energy. But have you ever asked yourself why this tradition started and what it actually does to our mind and surroundings? Interestingly, this small act is not only spiritual but also connected to science, psychology, and human well-being. The soft glow of the lamp, the calm atmosphere it creates, and the moment of silence can influence our mind in powerful ways. So in today's video, we are going to explore the hidden science, ancient wisdom, and the real reason why people light lamps in the evening. Stay with us till the end, because you might start seeing this simple habit in a completely different way. Let's begin. Very evening, when the sun slowly disappears behind the horizon. In many homes, one small action happens. A lamp is lit. For many people, it is just a routine. For some, it is a tradition. But very few people stop and ask one simple question. Why? Why did elders insist that a lamp must be lit exactly during evening time? Is it just a cultural habit? Or is there something deeper hidden behind it? This is the story of a boy who asked that question and discovered something surprising. The curious child. Arun grew up in a quiet neighborhood. Every evening at sunset, his grandmother would light a small oil lamp near the entrance of the house. The warm golden light slowly filled the room. The smell of oil and cotton wick spread softly in the air. But Arun never understood why. One evening he asked, "Pati, why do you light this lamp every day?" She smiled and said, "Because evening needs light." That answer didn't make sense to him. After all, the house already had electric lights. So why this small flame? The transition of the day. Years later, Arun studied human behavior and biology. That's when he learned something interesting. Sunset is not just the end of daylight. It is a biological transition period. During sunset, the brain begins changing from day mode to night mode. The body slowly starts producing melatonin, the hormone responsible for sleep. But the brain also reacts strongly to light sources during this time. Soft, warm light signals the brain to calm down. Bright artificial light can disturb the process. Oil lamps produce a soft warm spectrum light, very similar to sunset light. This helps the mind shift gently into evening relaxation. Psychological science. Lighting a lamp is also a powerful psychological signal. The brain loves routines. When a small daily ritual happens at the same time every day, the brain begins associating it with calmness and closure. That is why evening rituals reduce stress. Today psychologists call this behavioral anchoring, but elders practiced it naturally. Lighting a lamp was a way of telling the brain, the busy day is ending. It is time to slow down. Environmental observation. Before electricity existed, sunset created a dangerous moment. Darkness arrived slowly. Lighting a lamp early ensured that homes were visible and safe. The flame also helped repel certain insects attracted to darkness. And oil lamps created a gentle warmth that made spaces comfortable. What looked like a symbolic act was actually practical survival wisdom. Years later, Arun moved away for work. Life became fast and stressful. Screens, deadlines, late nights. One evening after a long day, the power went out. The room went completely dark. He searched for a candle and lit it. The small flame filled the room with warm light. Suddenly something strange happened. He felt calm, peaceful, the same feeling he had as a child when his grandmother lit the evening lamp. At that moment he realized, the ritual wasn't about light. It was about creating a peaceful transition in life. Our ancestors didn't always explain the science, but many of their habits were based on observation of nature, the human mind, and daily life. Lighting a lamp in the evening was not just a tradition. It was a way to bring calmness, focus, and balance into everyday living. Sometimes the smallest flame carries the wisdom of generations. Why our elders warned us not to sleep at sunset, the hidden science. When Arun was a child, there was one rule his grandmother always repeated. Never sleep when the sun is setting. Every evening around sunset, if Arun tried to sleep, his grandmother would wake him up immediately. Don't sleep now, it's not good, she said. Arun always wondered, why? Was it just another old superstition? Or was there a deeper reason our elders knew? Years later, he finally discovered the truth. The curious child. Arun grew up in a small village. Evenings were peaceful, birds flying back to their nests, cows returning home, the sky turning orange and purple. One day after playing outside all afternoon, Arun came home tired. He laid down to sleep. But suddenly, his grandmother woke him up. Don't sleep now, the sun hasn't fully set. Arun was annoyed. Pati, what's the problem if I sleep? She simply said, one day you will understand. The human body clock. Years passed. Arun moved to the city and studied biology. That's when he learned something fascinating. The human body has something called a circadian rhythm. It is a natural 24-hour biological clock that controls sleep, hormones, body temperature, energy levels, and this clock is controlled by one powerful thing: sunlight. At sunset, the brain slowly starts producing melatonin, the hormone that prepares the body for sleep. But if someone sleeps exactly during sunset, it confuses the brain. The body doesn't know whether it's evening rest or night sleep. This can cause fatigue, poor sleep quality, headaches, low energy. Suddenly, Arun remembered his grandmother's rule. The transition of nature. Sunset is not just the end of the day. It is a transition moment in nature. Day animals return home, night creatures begin waking up. Birds stop singing, insects start buzzing, even temperature and humidity change. During this time, the body naturally needs movement and alertness, not sleep. That is why traditional cultures encouraged people to light lamps, pray, walk outside, socialize with family. These activities kept the mind active until the body was ready for real night sleep. Health observations by ancestors. Ancient elders didn't have laboratories, but they observed life carefully. They noticed something interesting. People who slept during sunset often complained about laziness, heavy head, disturbed sleep at night, so they created a simple rule: don't sleep when the sun sets. What looked like superstition was actually health advice. The emotional moment. Years later, Arun visited his village again. But this time, his grandmother was gone. One evening he sat outside the house. The sun was setting slowly. The same orange sky, the same evening breeze. Suddenly he felt sleepy. For a moment he almost closed his eyes. Then he remembered her voice. Don't sleep now, it's not good. He smiled. She had always been right. Arun finally understood something powerful. Our elders didn't always explain the science, but many traditions were created through generations of observation. Sunset is not a time for sleep. It is a moment of transition for the body and mind. The wisdom of the past was quietly protecting our health. Sometimes traditions are not superstition, they are science spoken in the language of culture. Ancient wisdom often hides deep scientific understanding. Before rejecting traditions, sometimes we should try to understand them. Today we are going to talk about something we see every day. Vibhuti, Sandanam, Kumkum. Many people apply it daily. But do we really know the meaning? Is it just belief? Or is there science behind it? Let us find out the truth. Vibhuti. Vibhuti is also called holy ash. It is mostly connected with Lord Shiva. Fire spiritual meaning. In Hinduism, Vibhuti tells us one important message. Right finger, everything in this world will become ash one day. Money, beauty, power, nothing is permanent. Only the soul is permanent. That is why Lord Shiva covers his body with ash. It teaches us, be humble. Do not be proud. Life is temporary. Scientific reason. Now let us see science. We apply Vibhuti on the forehead. That place is called the third eye point. Scientifically, this area is connected to pineal gland. Concentration, memory power. Vibhuti has cooling properties. It reduces stress. It absorbs excess oil and sweat. It keeps the forehead dry and cool. Earlier days, people walked in hot sun. Vibhuti helped to control body heat. So this is not just belief. It has health benefits too. Sandhanam. Sandanam means sandalwood paste. In temples, priests apply it after puja. Why? Herb spiritual meaning. Sandalwood represents calmness, peace, purity. When we apply it, it reminds us, keep your mind cool. No anger, no jealousy, stay peaceful. Test tube scientific benefits. Sandalwood is a natural coolant. It reduces headache, cools body temperature, reduces stress, has antibacterial properties. In olden days, there was no AC. People used natural cooling methods. Sandanam was one of them. It is pure science hidden inside tradition. Kumkum. Kumkum is the red powder applied mostly by women. It is made from turmeric and lime. Red heart spiritual meaning. Kumkum represents energy, power, goddess Shakti. Married women wear it as a symbol of prosperity, protection, positive energy. It is placed on the same third eye point. This point is called Ajna Chakra in yoga. It is the center of wisdom. Scientific side. Turmeric has antibacterial properties, anti-inflammatory benefits. Applying kumkum helps increase focus, reduce negative thoughts, improve blood circulation in forehead. Red color also increases alertness. That is why danger signals are red. It activates the brain. Amazing, right? Why forehead? Why not hand? Why not neck? Why only forehead? Because this point is nerve center, energy center, concentration center. Even when we pray, we close eyes and focus here. Our ancestors knew human body science very well. They converted science into tradition. So people will follow it daily. That is real intelligence. So next time when you apply Vibhuti, Sandanam, Kumkum, do not think it is just old custom. It has spiritual meaning, scientific reason, health benefits. Our ancestors were not blind believers. They were intelligent thinkers. If you respect your tradition, you understand your roots. If you learned something new today, like thumbs up, share, send mail, subscribe bell, comment below. Which one do you apply daily? Let us be proud of our culture. Folded hands. Why Indians eat on banana leaf, the hidden science behind this tradition. What if I told you? One simple tradition in Indian culture can improve digestion, boost immunity, and even protect the environment? Yet today, many people call it outdated. This is the story of a boy who laughed at the idea of eating on a banana leaf until he discovered the truth behind it. The Wedding Feast. Arun was a city boy. Modern, tech-savvy, used to eating in restaurants with fancy plates. One day, he attended a traditional village wedding with his parents. Rows of people were sitting on the floor. In front of them, large green banana leaves. Food was being served directly on the leaves. Arun looked confused. Why are they not using plates? He whispered. His grandmother smiled. This is better than plates. Arun laughed. Pati, it's just a leaf. She said something mysterious. It's not just a leaf. The aroma of the leaf. The meal started. Hot rice was placed on the banana leaf. Something interesting happened. A pleasant aroma spread from the leaf. Arun noticed it immediately. Why does the food smell better? He asked. Pati explained. Banana leaves contain polyphenols. These natural plant compounds mix slightly with hot food. They enhance flavor and provide antioxidants. Modern science now confirms this. What our ancestors knew without laboratories was real chem. Natural antibacterial surface. Arun asked another question. But isn't it unhygienic? Pati smiled again. Banana leaves have natural antibacterial properties. Their wax coating prevents bacteria from sticking easily. Unlike plates that require detergents and chemicals, banana leaves are naturally clean. In villages, people simply wash them with water. No soap, no plastic, no chemicals, pure nature. The environmental wisdom. After the meal, Arun saw something surprising. People simply folded the banana leaf and threw it away. There were no garbage bags full of plastic plates. The leaves were fed to cows or decomposed naturally. Pati explained. One banana leaf returns to soil within days. Plastic plates stay for hundreds of years. What looked like a simple tradition was actually an eco-friendly system. Our ancestors were practicing zero-waste living long before it became trendy. Digestion benefits. But the science didn't stop there. The way food is arranged on banana leaf also matters. In traditional meals, salt on the top corner, pickle beside it, vegetables on the sides, rice in the center. This layout is not random. It encourages balanced eating. Also, sitting on the floor while eating in Sukhasana position improves digestion. The body bends slightly forward while eating. This stimulates digestive organs. Ancient wisdom plus body mechanics. Years later, Arun moved abroad for work. Life became fast. Plastic containers, microwave meals, no time to enjoy food. One day, he attended an Indian cultural festival. They served food on banana leaves. The moment hot rice touched the leaf, the familiar aroma returned. Suddenly he remembered his grandmother. Her smile, her wisdom, and her words. It's not just a leaf. Arun finally understood something powerful. Traditions were never random. They were solutions created through observation, nature, and experience. Our ancestors didn't have scientific journals, but they had generations of knowledge. Banana leaf meals were healthier, cleaner, eco-friendly, and meaningful. Sometimes the most advanced technology is the wisdom of the past. Traditions are not superstitions. Many of them are simply science disguised as culture. What if I told you, bathing daily is not just hygiene, but ancient science? In a small Tamil village, a teenage boy named Kartik once asked, "Pati, why do you shout, go take bath first?" Every single morning? She didn't answer immediately, because some answers need stories. Kartik hated waking up early, especially during winter. One Sunday, he skipped bath and sat for breakfast. His grandmother stopped him. No bath, no food. He got irritated. "Pati, I'm not dirty." She replied softly, "It's not about dirt." That sentence confused him. Body temperature science. Pati explained, in tropical countries like India, body heat increases quickly. Morning bath reduces excess heat. Scientifically, bathing regulates body temperature, improves blood circulation, activates nervous system, boosts alertness. Cold or lukewarm water stimulates vagus nerve, improves mood, reduces stress hormones. Ancient people didn't say dopamine, but they knew the effect. Germ protection. Village life equals mud, sweat, animals, dust. Daily bath prevented skin infections, fungal growth, body odor bacteria, parasites. Before modern soaps, they used shikake, green gram powder, turmeric, natural antibacterial system, preventive healthcare. Pati said something powerful. Bath is not just for body. It resets mind. Water calms nervous system, reduces anxiety. In temples, before entering, people bathed. Why? Clean body equals focused mind. Psychology confirms, water exposure reduces cortisol, improves clarity. In old Tamil homes, people bathed after sunset work. Why? To wash off dust plus allergens. To improve sleep quality. Warm bath relaxes muscles, triggers melatonin release, better sleep cycle. One day, Kartik skipped bath and went to play. He developed a skin rash. Doctor said, poor hygiene plus sweat. He remembered Pati's words. It was never control, it was protection. Years later, living in city hostel, he felt stressed. Exams, pressure, anxiety. One day, he took a calm morning bath. He felt lighter, focused, peaceful. He smiled. Pati was right. What we thought was strict discipline was actually daily therapy.
The village woke up before the sun did. In a small house in rural Tamil Nadu, 12-year-old Kavya stood in front of the mirror, frowning. Her grandmother was standing behind her with a small steel bowl filled with yellow paste. "Pati, please, not again," Kavya complained. Her grandmother smiled gently. "It's just manjal, ma. We've done this for generations." Kavya rolled her eyes. We've done this for generations. Why? Nobody explains properly. That question changed everything. The beginning of the argument. Kavya was a modern girl. She studied in an English medium school. She believed in science, logic, and Google. That morning, she had a small pimple on her cheek. Her grandmother immediately said, "Apply turmeric. It will heal." But Kavya laughed. "Pati, we have face wash, creams, doctors. Why turmeric? This is old village stuff." Her grandmother didn't get angry. She simply said, "Tonight, I'll tell you why." Son faced the story of the yellow shield. That night, as the power cut plunged the village into darkness, Pati began. Long before hospitals, before pharmacies, before tablets, we had manjal. Kavya listened quietly. Do you know why brides are covered in turmeric before marriage? Kavya shrugged. Pati continued. Turmeric is a natural antiseptic. It kills bacteria. It prevents skin infections. When many people gather for weddings, diseases spread easily. Turmeric acted as protection. Kavya blinked. Protection? Microscope the scientific truth. Pati's voice became firm. Turmeric contains something called curcumin. Kavya immediately looked up. Yes, curcumin is anti-inflammatory, she said, remembering her biology class. Pati smiled proudly. It reduces swelling. It fights bacteria. It improves immunity. It even helps wounds heal faster. Suddenly, turmeric didn't sound silly anymore. Mosquito the village wisdom. During monsoon, Pati continued, mosquitoes multiply. Infections increase. That's why we mix turmeric with water and sprinkle it around the house. It repels insects naturally. No chemicals. No side effects. Kavya was silent. All these years, she thought it was superstition. Yellow heart the emotional truth. But Pati, Kavya asked softly, why apply it to children every Friday? Pati's eyes softened. In old days, children played in mud, fields, rivers. Small cuts could become serious infections. So mothers applied turmeric paste weekly. Not because of belief, she paused, but because of fear. Fear of losing their child. Kavya's throat tightened. This wasn't ritual. This was love disguised as tradition. Blossom the hidden mental science. There's more, Pati whispered. The smell of turmeric and herbal oils calm the nervous system. In old times people didn't know the word stress. But they knew how to reduce it. Turmeric baths improved blood circulation. It reduced body heat. It balanced skin pH naturally. Ancient Tamil households weren't backward. They were observant. Years later, Kavya moved to Chennai for college. One day, in a microbiology class, the professor said, curcumin has antioxidant, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties. It is being studied for cancer prevention and immunity support. Kavya froze. That night, she called her grandmother. Pati, science proved you right. Pati laughed gently. Science didn't prove me right, Ma. It just caught up. The realization. When Kavya returned to her village during a pandemic outbreak, she noticed something strange. While cities panicked, her village was calm. Doors had turmeric water sprinkled outside. People consumed warm milk with turmeric. Small wounds were treated immediately with herbal paste. It wasn't blind faith, it was preventive healthcare. On her last night before returning to the city, Kavya applied turmeric to her face without being told. Pati noticed. Kavya smiled. I used to think traditions were outdated. She held Pati's hand, but now I understand. They were survival strategies. Pati replied softly. Never reject something just because it is old. Ask why. There is always a reason. Sometimes what we call superstition is just science waiting to be rediscovered. Traditions are not enemies of science. They are early forms of science. The kolam at the doorstep, a Tamil tradition with a scientific secret. In a small village near Kumbakonam, there lived a girl named Neela. Neela was 22, she had studied in the city. She spoke fluent English, wore modern clothes, and believed one thing strongly: traditions are just old habits. Especially one tradition: every morning her mother woke up before sunrise, swept the front yard, sprinkled water, and drew a beautiful kolam in front of their house. White lines, perfect curves, tiny dots, a simple design, yet done with so much devotion. Neela used to watch it from the window and feel irritated. "Amma, why are you wasting time every day? No one cares anymore." Her mother smiled softly and said the same line she always said: "Neela, one day you will understand." Neela hated that sentence. The day everything changed. One morning, Neela's mother fell sick. High fever, body pain, weakness. The doctor said she needs rest. No heavy work. Neela looked at the doorstep. For the first time in her life, there was no kolam. The front yard looked empty, dusty, silent, plain. Her father was busy. Her brother was away in Chennai. So her mother called Neela and said gently, "Just sweep the entrance and sprinkle water. If you can, draw a small kolam. Even a simple one is enough." Neela immediately replied, "Amma, I'll sweep. But kolam? No, I'm not doing that. It's superstition." Her mother didn't argue. She just turned her face to the wall, tired. But before sleeping, she whispered something that made Neela pause. "Kolam is not for the house, Neela. Kolam is for the people living inside." Neela did not understand. Neela did the sweeping. She sprinkled water. But she didn't draw kolam. She thought she had one. But that day, something strange happened. The first sign. In the afternoon, Neela opened the front door and noticed something unusual. Tiny ants. Not inside the house, but outside, near the entrance. They were walking in a neat line. Neela was confused. Why are they all standing outside? That evening, she noticed another thing. Usually, mosquitoes were less near their entrance. But that day, there were more insects around. Not too many, but noticeable. She ignored it. A visitor arrives. That night, Neela's Pati, grandmother, came from the nearby village to take care of her daughter. Pati was the kind of woman who didn't speak much. But when she spoke, people listened. Pati saw the empty doorstep and asked calmly, "No kolam today?" Neela replied confidently, "Pati, Amma is sick. And I don't believe in all this." Pati nodded slowly. Then she said something unexpected. "Good. Then tomorrow, you will draw it." Neela laughed. "Pati, I don't even know how." Pati smiled. "You don't need to know art. You just need to know intention." The challenge. The next morning, Pati woke Neela up at 5:30 a.m. The sky was still dark. Cold air. Silence everywhere. Pati handed her a small bowl of rice flour. Neela looked at it like it was some weird ritual. "What is this? Chalk powder?" Pati said, "This is not chalk. This is rice flour." Neela raised her eyebrow. "Why rice flour?" Pati looked at her and said softly, "Because kolam is not decoration. Kolam is a message." The real meaning of kolam. Pati sat on the doorstep and began to speak. In olden days, people were poor. But they had something big. Neela asked, "Money?" Pati smiled. "No, they had values." She continued, "Every morning, women drew kolam using rice flour. Do you know why?" Neela shook her head. Pati answered, "To feed the smallest lives." Neela blinked. Pati pointed to the ants walking outside. "When you draw kolam with rice flour, ants and tiny insects eat it. So they don't enter the house searching for food." Neela's face changed. "So, Kolam was like. Pati finished her sentence. A peaceful agreement. Science in a simple tradition. Pati continued. And when your mother sprinkles water before drawing kolam. Neela interrupted. Yes. Why do people sprinkle water? Is it for luck? Pati smiled. No, Neela. She took a handful of water and sprinkled it on the ground. And she said, in those days, the front yard was dry soil. Sweeping alone would raise dust. Dust carries bacteria. Dust enters the house. Dust enters your lungs. Neela stayed silent. Pati said, sprinkling water makes the dust settle. It cleans the air. It's hygiene. Neela swallowed. That sounded logical. The hidden psychological secret. Pati took the rice flour and started drawing dots. Then lines. Then curves. Her hands moved like she was writing a poem. Neela watched. And slowly, she felt something. Calm. Like her mind was becoming quieter. Pati said without looking up. You feel it, right? Neela asked, what? Pati smiled. This is not only for insects. Kolam is for the mind. Kolam equals ancient mindfulness. Pati explained. When women wake up early, their minds are full of worries. Money, children, work, husband, health. Kolam forces the brain to focus. Dots, lines, symmetry. It becomes a form of meditation. Neela whispered, so it's like therapy? Pati nodded. Exactly. Pati suddenly stopped drawing. She looked at Neela. Do you know why kolam is drawn at the doorstep and not inside the house? Neela said, no. Pati said, because the doorstep is where the world meets your home. Then she added, some people bring love. Some people bring jealousy. Some people bring pain. Kolam is the first thing they see. It tells them, this house is disciplined. This house is clean. This house has dignity. Neela felt goosebumps. Neela's memory returns. Suddenly, Neela remembered something from childhood. Every morning, when her mother drew kolam, the neighbors used to stop and talk. They smiled. They shared news. They laughed. The doorstep wasn't just an entrance. It was a small community space. The real reason women were respected. Pati continued. In olden days, women had limited power. They didn't go to offices. They didn't have big decisions. But kolam was their signature. It was the one place where a woman showed her creativity and identity. Neela looked down. She felt ashamed.